What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about Essie. More specifically, their fall 2021 collection. I don't think it has a name, but regardless, we've got a nice new exciting collection here to go over today. If you haven't heard of Essie before, they are a mainstream salon nail polish brand. They are vegan, so they do not have any animal derived ingredients in their polishes, and they're also 8 free, meaning they are free of 8 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be often found in nail polish. So just about Essie as a whole, I actually didn't review them for a really long time. Way back in the day when I first got started with nail polish, I did have some Essie shades that I enjoyed, but I felt like their formula was really inconsistent. I wasn't a fan of the brush, and I felt like a lot of their polishes' opacity were just not there. So for the most part, I really didn't review them. However, a lot of you guys did tell me that their formula improved a lot and their brush actually changed. So recently I've been getting into a little bit more of Essie reviewing, and I have to say they definitely have improved significantly. So if, like me, you didn't use them for a really long time, I definitely recommend giving them another shot. I don't know exactly when they improved their formula. I know it's been over a year since they've done it, but I'm still kind of just dipping my toes into the Essie world and starting over again. But anyway, let's get into these polish swatches and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about pricing and availability. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am going to be using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Orly Bonder base coat. Starting off with the shade My Happy Base, and this one is a chartreuse yellow cream. It's a really interesting color, and let me tell you, this was so opaque. You can see it pretty much gave me full coverage in that first coat, and keep in mind my nails are short, but yellow nail polish tends to be the most sheer on me, so I was extremely impressed. The formula was so nice. It was very self-leveling, very opaque. The brush made it so easy to just swipe onto my nails with no mistakes, but yeah. Definitely very impressed with my first color in this collection. Next up we have the shade Off the Record, and this one is a nice pinky toned deep maroon cream shade. Again, it was just incredibly opaque. You can see it actually looked a lot more red on my nails, and I think that's just because I have very warm undertones, but it does look a little bit more pinky purple in the bottle. Like I said, just very impressive formula here. I really wasn't expecting these creams to be so opaque and so self-leveling, and they were just really easy to apply with that new brush. Next up we have the shade Sound Check You Out, and this one is a really gorgeous taupe color. It's got this sort of purpley undertone to it, and it's just a really nice fall neutral shade. It reminds me a lot of Essie Chinchilli. It was a little bit sheer in the first coat, but it did give me perfect coverage in the second. Don't mind that I flooded my cuticles a little bit there. I got overzealous, but yeah, again, very self-leveling, very smooth, very creamy, and just like the perfect fall cream shade. Next up we have the shade Feelin' Amped, and this one is a really nice medium teal cream shade. I feel like Essie always throws in like one of these really bright bold shades. Not that I mind, I'm very into them, but yeah, this one was another one that was just incredibly opaque. Just a quick note, I did notice that all of these creams dried slightly darker on my nails than they looked in the bottle, but they were still very vibrant and they were still pretty and fall-like, so just keep that in mind. This one was really opaque in the first coat, but I did 2 for full coverage. The final 2 shades are shimmers. This first one is called Starstruck Accord, and this one is a really interesting purple base that has a almost greenish gold shimmer running throughout. Again, this is one of those colors that looks a lot warmer on me than it did in the bottle. I felt like it was a lot more of a dusty, cool toned purple in the bottle, but it looked a lot more pinky toned on my nails, so just keep that in mind. I think that just has to do with my undertones, but again, it was just really opaque, really easy to use, and very self-leveling. And last but definitely not least, we have the shade High Voltage Vinyl, and this was the one I was actually the most excited about, although to be fair, I didn't realize that the creams were going to be so good, but this one's just a really beautiful, shifty sort of shade. It's got this very deep base and then this blackened greenish gold shimmer running throughout that almost looks duochromy, and I gotta say, this is just such a gorgeous fall shade. I love that almost black look that it has, but then the shimmer makes it look like it's lit from within, in. So here are all of the shades together, and I gotta say, those creams really impressed me, especially my Happy Base. That was the first one out of the collection that I tried, and as soon as I applied it, I was like, this is incredible. And I feel like the rest of the Essie swatching experience was really good as well. All of the shades just had a really nice formula. They were a little bit thick, but not so thick that it was difficult to move around on the nail. I thought they were still very self-leveling. The creams even more so than the shimmers. Maybe the shimmers were just a little bit less self-leveling, but overall it was just very impressed with all of these shades. I feel like the blue doesn't necessarily match the vibe of the rest of the collection, but I think it's very pretty on its own. So those are the polishes, and like I said, I'm really into these. Their formula has improved so much. I definitely absolutely love these. It really gives me hope for them as a brand. I'm definitely planning on reviewing them more frequently because I definitely love a very self-leveling formula. Their brush is incredible. It really was very easy to work with. You guys know I love a wide flat brush, but especially when they have that rounded tip, it's just so easy to get into that cuticle area without having to do any cleanup. So these polishes come in 13.5 milliliter bottles. Like I said, they do have that new and improved wide flat brush with the rounded tip, and they seem to retail everywhere for $9 USD. So I found them online at Ulta, which I will link down below. You can also get them in stores only at CVS, so I'll put that information down in the description as well. But I'm curious to hear from you guys. What do you think of Essie? Are you a fan of this new formula? Are you a fan of this new brush? I know a lot of people actually prefer the round skinny brush to the wide flat brush. And what do you think of this particular collection? What do you think of these polishes? Which color is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. We can chat about all of it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And by the way, I also do have a vlog channel, so I'll put that up in the cards. I've been very bad about vlogging, but I'm trying to get a little bit more into it and share with you guys a little bit more like behind the scenes of my life. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. Huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Braxton Scott, Rainbow J, and Jessica Taylor. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Jessica, and Jessica wants to know, out of all of your collaboration polishes to date, which individual shade had the most exciting / unique process involved in its creation? Ooh, that's actually a really tough question. So I feel like I'm gonna give a more generalized answer because I don't think there's one color in particular that stood out over the others. I usually kind of go by collection. So I will say, when I work with a brand to do a collaboration, one thing that's really important to me is obviously I want to have my own style in the polish, but I really also want to keep the brand style. So, you know, I always try to find my own version of their style, if that makes sense. Because obviously, you know, the reason that I collaborate with these brands that I really like is because I love their formula and I love the way that they make their polishes. So I don't like to change that. I like to just have my own color and my own type of polish within their formula, if that makes any sense. I feel like I'm not making that much sense. So for picture polish, when I did my collaboration with them, you know, I was really enjoying the picture polish style, which has those really interesting, very subtle hollow sparkles running throughout. They do the glass flecks, stuff like that. When I was doing my collaboration with Orly, you know, I didn't want to do like flaky polishes or anything holographic. I wanted to kind of go within the Orly style and do like the kinds of shimmers that they do. And then, you know, with Starly, I wanted to go with these very like indie style polishes. You know what I mean? So hopefully that explains it, but I still feel like I'm not doing a great job explaining it. But each process is definitely very interesting, very fun, and each brand that I've worked with, it's been a very different process for. In terms of just how the polishes are made, I think it's probably Starly that I align with the most, just in terms of like, I always joke with you guys that I never want to have my own nail polish brand because if I ever did, it would just be Starly, and Starly already exists. But I feel like everything that they create is really something that I would have created. You know what I mean? Even when they come out with a collection of nail polishes that I haven't collaborated with them on, I'm always like, man, this is something that I would make. And I feel like that's saying a lot because I really love a lot of nail polishes, and obviously I love a lot of brands. I'm very into nail polish. I don't know if you guys noticed. So it's definitely interesting to kind of see a brand that I really, really align with. And I mean, that's not to say that I don't align with the other brands that I work with. Obviously, I only collaborate with my absolute favorites. And just so you guys know, I have gotten offers to do collabs with other brands, but I really like to just focus on the ones that I absolutely love. So yeah, I think that's a really fun process process. I think we really are on the same wavelength. Like even the packaging, the name of the polishes, the name of the brand, like everything that Starly does. This would be hilarious if Starly sees this, by the way. But I feel like they really just, I don't know, they do everything that I would have come up with if I was creative enough to have my own brand. Like I said, I really do love all of the collaborations that I've had the opportunity to do. I'm so incredibly grateful. It really is a dream come true. You know, obviously, as somebody who loves nail polish as much as I do, it is so exciting to have the opportunity to work, especially with a brand that I absolutely adore. To be able to make my own polishes with them is just absolutely wonderful. So I really am honestly grateful for you guys for enjoying these collaborations, for enjoying my content, for allowing me to make these kinds of things. I'm so appreciative of you. I am really just very happy that I get to do this. But yeah, it's just a really, really fun time to make them. And maybe one day I can take you guys behind the scenes and we can show you a little bit more how I create a collaboration polish, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!